What is up, all you cool cats out there? And welcome to the Late Night Jazz Cast, the podcast about late nights, hard times, and smooth jazz. Alrighty, all you cool cats, the podcast where you can just sit back, relax, enjoy a little late night jazz with your boy as we unravel the topics that give you the blues late in the evening. Alrighty, my cool cats out there, this is episode 2 of the Late Night Jazz Cast, and we are going to be discussing one of the, a topic that was brought up recently in a Rhett and Link podcast, actually, in one of their ear biscuits, and it was also reviewed by one of my favorite YouTubers ever, Chris Ramsey. He's a magician just like me. Go check out both channels, Chris Ramsey and Rhett and Link's Ear Biscuits. They both got great content. They're both fantastic. I love them both. I've been watching Rhett and Link since I was probably 12. I've been watching Chris Ramsey since I was probably 15. I love them to death. They're great. And yeah, let's get into it. So, basically, in Rhett and Link's Ear Biscuit, they brought up the topic of, are magicians actually cool? And, as y'all know, I am a magician. I love magic. I do magic all over my channel. I'll do any kind of magic if I can learn it. I will do it. Card magic, prop magic, whatever it is, I'm all for it. So yeah, are magicians actually cool? Well, one of the points that Rhett constantly made in the video was that magicians are not cool, but they're so cool that it makes them not cool, you know. And I kind of agree with that, because, and I'm coming from a completely different perspective on this, because they're coming at it from the perspective of the spectator, the person watching the magic trick, the person having their mind blown by a card trick or by prop magic or whatever it is, you know. And I'm looking at it from the side of the magician, the person blowing their mind with card magic or prop magic, you know. And the way I see it, like, I don't know, like, when, and, you know, every magician was a spectator at one point. Every magician. That's how all magicians are formed. You know, some people may say, oh, well, David Blaine was born a magician, you know, he had that natural talent. Well, that's possible, but every magician at one point in their life saw another magician performing a trick. It blew their mind, and they immediately said, I gotta know how that's done. I gotta be able to do that. I gotta show my friends this, you know. But you know, I kind of agree with what Rhett said about the whole deal with the magicians are so cool that they're actually not cool. You know, like, I'm trying to think of a way to put it. Like, okay, so, you know, a magician, to be a magician, it requires so much time and so much energy put into your craft, you know. You gotta spend hours practicing and perfecting your tricks to be a good magician. Now, there are people who go out, learn 2 or 3 tricks, and they're done with it, and that's just, they do those tricks and that's all they do, which is beyond me, because if you're not constantly learning and practicing magic as a magician, then pretty soon you're going to be obsolete, because everyone's going to know how your trick is done. You see a magic trick enough times, you can pretty much figure out how it's done, or have a pretty good idea. So you got to constantly be practicing. But I feel like magicians are always the awkward person in the group, because they're always the one off to the side practicing magic by themselves, not hanging out with people. There's always that joke that, like, oh, magicians don't have any friends because they're always in their room by themselves practicing magic. And to some degree that is potentially true. But like, and I feel like that's what it is, because look at it this way. You get someone who's really good at magic, almost everybody appreciates a good magic trick. I don't know of anyone who doesn't like a good magic trick, you know? Everyone is usually wowed. Everyone usually appreciates it. And so, that's what makes a magician cool. Okay? Because, like, you know, that's what magicians have going for them. Like, they're relying on the trick to make them the coolest person in the room. You know, because you may not want to admit this, but you go to any party, there's always that one guy who's just the cool guy. He's always got something that wows everybody, and everyone, oh, they want to hang out with him. And so you got to come up with something that outdoes him. And so, you know, magic is a good outlet for that, because everyone loves magic. As soon as you start doing magic, you know, a crowd can form, you know. People love a good magic trick. And so that's what can make you cool. So in that, you know, in that setting, yes, magic can make you a really, really cool person. But you take that magic away, is the magician really cool anymore? Like, is the person cool by himself without the magic? Because so many magicians rely on the magic to drive them forward and to push them and to make them the life of the party, that if you take that away, they've spent so much time perfecting their magic that they don't have anything else going for them. You know, I'm fortunate that I started magic a little bit late in life. I started magic when I was 10. You know, you see all these magicians on, like, America's Got Talent, and they're like, oh, I started when I was 3, and I've been doing it ever since. That takes away a lot of your life. I didn't start magic till I was 10, so I kind of had some time to build up other hobbies. So, if I'm not doing magic, I'd like to think I can still be a pretty interesting person. I can discuss stuff with you that's not magic, but so many magicians, you take away their deck of cards or you take their props from them. They don't know what to do. They just go sit in the corner and listen silently to whatever's going on, you know? So, you know, and that's the majority of magicians. So, from my experience, magicians aren't cool. I do agree. Magicians are not cool if they're not doing magic. If they're doing magic, they're cool. And that's the thing. Magicians are so uncool that it makes them cool. Because what makes a magician uncool? The fact that they are themselves not doing anything but magic. And what makes a magician cool? The magic. So them being so uncool makes them cool, because they're so uncool by not doing anything but magic that all they're doing is magic, and magic is what makes them cool. So, do you see what I'm saying? Like, a magician is so uncool that he is cool. It's a weird little paradox. But I also see it from both ends of the spectrum. There are some people out there who meld the magician and the man so well that those magicians are cool. There are so many magicians out there who create this character of themselves. They create their own little magic character that is them. They are this little magician of a character. And it makes them so cool that when they're not in character, they're still a really cool person to be around, but they're also really cool because they can bring out this little magical character, you know? It's a lot of magicians are doing that now, where they're like creating a story that goes along with their magician or whatever. And I've even done that. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll use an accent or something when I'm doing a magic trick for people, and it fools people because they think I'm from some other country, and I can, you know, create this whole character about it. That actually, it started a while ago. I was at my school doing magic, and I thought, what would be a good way for me to do magic but also practice like my impressions and my, you know, my accents and different things that I did on people, you know. And so what I did was I walked up to a lady and I did a whole entire magic trick for her in a British accent. I walked up and I was like, "Oh, hello. Yes, I would like to do a magic trick for you. Would you kindly pick a card, you know, and I'm gonna shuffle them, and then I magically found her card, you know." And it was fun doing a little bit of a British accent and making people think I was from Britain. The problem is she got the better of me, because after I did the trick, she looked at me and said, "I noticed your accent. Where are you from?" And I went, "Oh, I'm from Milton. I'm from over here in Florida." What? There's a British guy from Florida? What? So what I did was I created this whole entire backstory around this British magician that I do, you know. So whenever someone says, "Where are you from?" I say, "Oh, I'm from Manchester, you know, Manchester over in England." And they say, "Oh, well, how long were you in Manchester?" "Oh, well, you see, what happened was my father, he was in the military here in Florida at the base, you know, and he went over to Manchester. They stationed him over there, and he met my mum. And then I came along shortly after, and we lived there for about 12 years, and then he loved Florida, so when he got out of the military, we moved back, and I've been here ever since." You see, and people go, "Oh wow, that's really cool. I've never met anyone from Britain," you know, and it adds this cool little character to your little, you know, magic, and it makes you kind of cool, you know. I had some really nice people who asked me, you know, how long I had been in Britain, and I actually told them it was all an act. They said, "How long have you been in Manchester?" And I said, "Oh, well, you can probably tell right now by my voice that I'm not from England. That's all a guise. That's a facade. I do that when I do magic, you know, because I can do any sort of, you know, voice and make it seem cool. I can, you know, zoinks. Oh, like, let's do some magic here, Scoops. Oh, this is gonna blow your mind." You know, I can do a little bit of Shaggy, which that was probably a garbage Shaggy impression because it's so late at night that I don't want to, you know, be super loud. But, like, you know, that's how a magician is cool, by creating these own little perks and quirks that they add to their, you know, magic routine. You get these guys who just all the time wear a suit and tie everywhere, with little suit and bow tie everywhere, and they always have a trick with them, and then, you know, constantly, "Oh wow, look at this. These $1 bills are $5 bills. Is your mind blown? I'm a magician. See you around," you know. And they, like, you know, it makes them very awkward and very not cool, you know. But I feel like magicians aren't just not cool. That some magicians can actually be cool, you know. It's hard. It's hard to be cool as a magician, because you have to spend so much time working on your craft that you're not really able to actually work on anything else, you know? And I noticed that. Like, I started out when I was 10, and I was so devoted to my magic that I was great at it. I was blowing people's minds at 10 years old. And then I realized, oh, but I'm the awkward kid who does magic. I want to be cool. So I stopped doing magic. Like, I started working on... I didn't stop completely, but I started working on my other talents. And I slowly became the cool kid to hang out with, but my magic was terrible. And so now, I'm look at it 9 years later, I'm 19 years old now, and I'm working on finding a weird little sort of balance there that I can, I'm trying to find a little bit of a balance to where I can do my magic and be cool. And it's not easy, but it's definitely possible. And also, like, another way you can be cool is, like, I'm Baptist, that's what I was raised. So, I know magicians who are Baptist who take, decks of cards and use them to spread, the word of God, So there's different ways to be cool. And people who create these stories out of their magic trick. If you just walk up and say, oh, this is a deck of cards, pick a card, I'm gonna shuffle it, here's your card, that's cool and all. It's not really cool, but it's cool because you found their card. But if you walk up and say, oh, this is a deck of cards that was made in China back in 1872, and it was made from the ashes of an old Shaolin monk who practiced magic every day, and they say his soul is encapsulated in these cards, and that he can tell where every card is, That adds a little bit of a story, and it makes your magic a lot cooler. But yeah, that's, magic is funny like that, because look at anyone else, like, look at a musician, someone who plays the drums, or someone who plays the guitar. Once they learn how to play the drums or guitar, that's pretty much, that's what they do. So if they don't have drums or guitar with them, then, they have time to work on other things and be cool. They can be cool without their drums or guitar, Whereas a magician, because magic is what pushes magicians forward so far, it's really hard to be cool without your magic. Especially if that's all you're devoting your time to. Like I said earlier, if you devote all your time to magic, and then you never take a deck of cards with you anywhere, you're going to be the most boring guy there, Whereas a musician can practice the guitar, an hour a day, learn how to play a song, but you don't always want music. You don't always want a song to be played. So they gotta find ways to, be cool without music, And not to say you always want a magic trick either, but, that's just the way it is. It's different like that. Now, we're gonna take a short break here, guys, and we're gonna chill to some smooth jazz. I'm gonna crank up the volume a little bit and just relax for the next couple minutes as we sit back and chill. Just let the jazz really, really come through. Feel the jazz and let it soothe you. Listen to that piano play. Tickle them ivories, boy, tickle them ivories. Play me that smooth jazz. Man, could that guy play? We're bringing up some more jazz for you right now. Let it thrill you on this lovely, lovely evening. Let's try and find you something a little bit more upbeat. What do you say? Here you go, boys. Something with a little more of a snap to it. Let that jazz fill you, boy. Just kick back and listen to the jazz as it fills your soul and opens your mind. Listen as he plays that piano. Oh, it's so smooth. Makes you wanna just lay down and never get back up. Just relax and listen to some smooth jazz a while. Stick around, sit down and let it fill your soul and mind. That was a nice smooth piece of jazz. Let's listen to one more, and then we'll get back to our podcast. We're gonna swing with one more song. But don't worry, it won't be long. We'll be right back with the podcast shortly. So relax to some smooth jazz. That slow drum as he tickles the ivories, playing us a sweet serenade of the smoothest jazz. piano, smooth jazz, smooth evening. And we're back, all you cool cats out there, toning that jazz down just a little bit as we get back into the swing of the podcast. I thought that we'd talk about the whole reason I started the late night jazz cast. I am a big jazz fan, and I love, all sorts of jazz. I love this kind of jazz, the smooth jazz. I love I love swing. I love the big band music. I love the Frank Sinatra, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Bobby Darin, all of those people. I love jazz. Jazz is by far my number one favorite genre of music. If I could only have one genre of music in the entire world to listen to, it would be jazz. It would be jazz. Because you have a variety. You have the smooth, sweet, silky jazz. And then you got the big band jazz, the jump jive and swing your hips and flair to the music, Mainly why I wanted to start the late night jazz cast. I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I wanted something a little bit more laid back, nice, easygoing, late at night, chill. We can talk about whatever we want, and just have some nice, smooth jazz to listen to, because that was the big thing. My original idea was I wanted to style it sort of like a radio program, where I was the DJ, telling all you cool cats to sit back and relax to some jazz. But I realized quickly that wasn't really going to be possible, And so I figured what I would do was I would start a podcast about, and where I discuss different life topics. And, we get some smooth jazz playing, and then, about halfway to 2/3 of the way in, I take a break and I just let the smooth jazz play, and I let you people listen to it and just kick back and enjoy some jazz, It's a nice way to relax and unwind in the evening, to just listen to some jazz, And I wanted to share that with you people. I wanted you people to understand that, that listening to some jazz late at night is relaxing, and it can help you. It can help you unwind, But I wanted to discuss topics that were a little more easygoing. And I didn't really want to, start a whole podcast and have it, not be good. So I figured, why not meld the two, where I can teach y'all how to relax and unwind, and I can still discuss different topics, And so yeah, and I could be the worst podcaster out there. This idea may be a flop, Maybe people hate jazz. Maybe I'm the only one who likes it, Maybe it's just me. I don't know. We'll see how the podcast turns out. I mean, this is only my second episode, So, who am I to say? Just because I like jazz doesn't mean y'all have to like jazz as well. If you don't like it, that's your prerogative. If you don't like jazz, you're probably not going to listen to my podcast. And if you don't want to hear me talk, you're also probably not going to listen to my podcast. But if you want a nice, easy way to rewind and, reminisce and just enjoy some nice jazz and discuss different topics, this is the place for you. You come, sit down, turn on the podcast, I'll talk at you, we'll discuss things, and feel free in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the topics, Last episode wasn't really we didn't really have a distinctive topic. It was poetry, So actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, that last podcast episode, go back, leave me a comment, tell me what your favorite poem is, put it in the description. I'll read it. Tell you what I think. Today's episode, we discussed magicians. Are magicians really cool? Or are they, are they actually cool? Or are they just, the awkward guy at the party, Let me know in the comments what you think. Can magicians be cool? Or are magicians destined to forever be that third wheel, awkward guy that you bring along just so you can show your friends, hey, this guy's a magician, watch what he can do. I'm cool because I know this guy and he does magic, so that's why I'm cool, because I have a magic friend. Let me know what you think. I really do honestly want to hear your feedback. I love hearing from you guys. I don't have a ton of comments on my videos, and because of that, I don't really know if you like my content or not. How am I to know if you like my content if you don't put a comment? Leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. It's one click. Now, here's my thing. All these YouTubers out there, they're gonna tell you, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell button so you get notified every time I form a new video. Hey, that would be nice. I would love for all of you to click the bell to subscribe, But the whole thing with the bell, I'm not too worried about that. Don't worry about clicking the bell. I understand. You don't like... sorry about that. You don't like... Not everyone wants, videos clogging up their subscription box. Not everyone wants to get a notification every time a new video is put out. Especially with my videos, because I post videos sometimes at 3 a.m. in the morning, So not everyone wants that. But at least subscribe. At least show me that you do enjoy the videos. You don't have to watch every video. I mean, it would be great if you did, but I don't care, If you want to watch them. If you don't. But if you're willing to watch them, and you're willing to appreciate them, why don't you go ahead, leave me a subscription, subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Drop a like on the video, And hey, who knows, maybe you will hit the bell. Maybe you will get notified every time I form a new video. Who knows? Maybe you'll like it so much you'll ask me if you can be on the show. Heck, I don't care. You want to be on the show? Leave me a like, comment, subscribe, tell me, Now, granted, there's some restrictions, but I don't have a problem doing a video with anyone, So, yeah. Alright, guys, sorry. all you cool cats out there. Sorry about it. Didn't mean to rant on you all evening. But hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you were able to relax and chill to some jazz. You know, this has been episode 2 of the Late Night Jazz Cast. I hope you like it. Leave a subscription, comment, hit that like button, and I'll talk at you next week. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll see you later.